I appreciate you guys all being here. Catherine Robin is a lender. Welcome. So very similar principles for you, Catherine. We have Linda in Northwest Arkansas, an executive broker. Perfect. All right. So I'm really not seeing anything today outside of the real estate industry, primarily real estate agents, lenders. Okay, so wonderful. You guys are in the right place. So really quick before I switch this screen on, I assume you guys are all here because you already know who I am. If you're a first timer, let me know. My name is Lori Ballen. I own a real estate business here in Las Vegas, Nevada, and been a top agent in Vegas since I started in 2007. Got really into short sales, hated short sales, but decided I had to own it in my market or I wasn't going to survive. So I got really into short sales. Quickly found myself in the top 1% of all real estate agents as a brand new agent, and have just kind of like everybody else failed forward along the way. I built my team up really big and then took it back really small, changed my model a few times. Not ashamed of any of it, because I think we have to figure out what's right for us. And a lot of times I have a tendency, like others, I've had a tendency to chase shiny objects or hear somebody on the stage and go, yeah, I need to do that. And, you know, got really influenced by, you need to expand, you need to expand, you need to expand, which set me back about a year. Trying to do that too big and too fast, right? So I also am a 6-figure affiliate marketer, and basically what that means is I talk about products and services, and I get paid a commission when people purchase through my link, and I earn 6 figures pretty passively on the backside. And it took me about 5 years to build that up, and it was accidental more than anything. As a teacher trainer, I teach software. People just naturally want to use the tools that I use. They sign up, and I benefit. So that is my favorite thing I've ever done on the planet, because it's security, it's life. I just took my entire family on an Alaska cruise, and I paid for the entire thing for 6 of us, brothers, daughter's fiance, and I credit affiliate marketing to that. That being said, real estate pays my bills, so all of my basic bills are covered by real estate. I have an unconventional model. I won't get into that too far today, but I lead generate and they close. So I don't actually work with clients. I haven't now for 9 years. So still sell homes, but I don't work with the clients. I just do the lead gen. All right. So all of this ties into what we're going to talk about today, which I'm going to pop open on my screen here. And that is the ability to lead generate and convert through a mailing list, or I really want to call it a list. Now let me click my turn screen on. Oh yes, I remember having problems with this last time. Okay, we are going to share just the application window and see if that works for us. Okay, now let me look on my screen. Last time I couldn't see it, what was happening, and so today I hooked up an external monitor so I can see what you guys are seeing. Hang on, you didn't lose me. I'm just trying to get this to show me. Ah, I see it. Okay, I have to keep in mind there's a 10-second delay on this software, which isn't optimal, but I love the platform in so many other ways that I'm willing to deal with the 10-second delay, at least for right now. All right, so on my screen, you guys should see my constant contact dashboard. Now, Constant Contact is an email platform. And what I want to stress right out of the gate here is that today's concepts are going to carry with you whatever software you are using. So I'm going to demo today some principles on software that I use. So today I'm going to show you how I do certain things on Constant Contact, and I'm going to show you Optinmonster because, oh my gosh, how much I love Optinmonster. And I want you to understand that you can do many of these things with many different platforms, from Infusionsoft to Salesforce to I don't know what you're using, Follow Up Boss to Command soon, although not yet, right? It doesn't have all the customization abilities. If you're a Keller Williams agent, I know we're all talking about the new technology, and hopefully we'll be able to do more of this with that platform. But as of today, I still need to keep my Constant Contact or my Infusionsoft going because it's still updating. Okay. All right, I can see the chat. I'm going to keep this open, and it's working for me great so far. So if you are having questions as we go through this, that I can see your chats. So keep that open. I like us to be super interactive. I know I just made the screen squirrely. It'll fix itself in a second. So keep it up. So the more we engage, the better value you're going to get out of this, okay? So, all right. So Angela, you've been using Mailchimp. Now, here's what I don't know. I don't know when I show you my processes, I don't know where necessarily some of these platforms would do whatever I'm going to do. So you might have to dive into there, okay? I personally have not been a super avid Mailchimp user in years, but I do understand that with KW Command, which I am going to be teaching on, so I think it's important to use that in my trainings today as well, talk about it. With Command, they did tell me yesterday that Mailchimp is going to be our email software. Now, I put in a request that they integrate Constant Contact. A bunch of us are integrating, requesting integration for Infusionsoft, and I'm sure those things will come. So don't freak out today, is my point, with whatever platform you're using. Please listen to the concepts and then see how it might work in your platform. I also want to tell you a couple other things. My brothers over at Ballen Brands, it's a company that I founded, but they own and they provide the service department. If you say, after you watch this webinar and you say, you know what, oh my gosh, I want what Lori has with her email campaigns or her text dialers or her whatever, you can call them and say, this is what I want, and I'm using Mailchimp, or this is what I want, and I'd love it on Constant Contact or on Optinmonster or on Infusionsoft, and they'll kind of work with you on what you have, and they can help you build this out. A lot of you guys are not going to want to sit and do this stuff, but I do want to show you how easy some of it is if you do want to do it yourself. Is that fair? So kind of give you a couple choices. So I chose Constant Contact over Mailchimp because of a lot of the Mailchimp is really strict and not as friendly for affiliate marketers. And when you're building a massive email list, that's something to consider. So for me, that was one of the reasons. Also, I wanted some of the features, and I can't really remember. I wrote a blog on it on loriballen.com on the differences. I first chose Infusionsoft is still my favorite when it comes to all-in-one everything. So if you're geeky enough, and if you like bells and whistles like I do, you know, if this then that, and I can tag this, and if this tag happens, then this list happens, and you want to add in you know, third-party integrations and e-commerce and, you know, other kinds of drips and text, Infusionsoft is super amazing. But the reason I switched over to Constant Contact, one of the main reasons why I'm not using Infusionsoft as a primary is because I'm a teacher trainer. And I was finding that there weren't enough of you guys willing to adopt the process to learn Infusionsoft. And so I wanted to give another option. Okay, so you guys are asking for a couple contact things. So I thought I pinned the chat log, but I don't see it. So hold on, let me see here. Let me throw these, in case anybody has to go, let me just throw out a few of these contact things for you super quick here. First one I'm going to give you is, I'm a little slow with this part, sorry, offer. Let me see if this works. Okay, so first thing is the contact info. Nope, contact info for my brothers at Ballen Brands. Hold on. shoot. Here we go. Offers. Sorry, my offers tab disappears when I'm sharing my screen. It works. Okay, just ignore the middle piece for a second. Let me do this. Turn screen share off for a second. Okay, so there's Ballen brand. And then here is, I'm still here. I just wanted that squirrely thing in the middle to go away for a second. There's the Ballen brands info. Because once I start training, I'm going to go fast. Here is, okay. Oh, it looks like I can't post 2 at a time. So let me take that one down. So that's Ballen Brands, 702-917-0755 or ballenbrands.com. I also put it in your playback email. So don't panic because you're going to get a playback email. And then here's the offer for Constant Contact. I've got a free trial link for you if you want to check this out. Oops. Hold on. There it is. Publish. Okay. I'm figuring this out. That's Constant Contact. And again, I put a link in your email. And if for any reason you need, just message me after and I can get it for you. I am an affiliate of Constant Contact. I do benefit if you wind up making a purchase. I am with most of my software that I use. And then, so that's Constant Contact. So if you clicked that, you can get your free trial. I think it's a 30-day free trial. And then the other one I'm going to give you today is Optinmonster. So let me remove that one. I also can post the links in the chats. And I'm going to leave this Optinmonster one here as soon as I put it here. Offers, Optinmonster. Okay, Optinmonster. So Optinmonster integrates with Mailchimp, with Constant Contact, with Aweber, with Infusionsoft. So all of these softwares play together. But there is a little bit of integration required to get them to do that. And that's where my brothers at Ballen Brands might be helpful if you don't know the integrations. And I'm happy to make training videos upon request too. And I also have a training course at ballenacademy.com where a bunch of this stuff is in there. All right, good. Okay, we all good? I'm going to share my screen again here now. We're going to go back to Constant Contact. Okay. I'm going to show you some really cool strategies for real estate and honestly that would cross over to anything that you're going to be working, okay? Mailing lists, people keep saying that email's dead, and I guarantee you that is not a true statement. Absolutely 100% false. For me, I still see a massive benefit in creating lists, but what I do want to express is it's not just email. So now when we're talking about registering mailing lists, we're talking about being able to email them, being able to textile them, being able to chat bot them, being able to direct mail them. So please understand that today I'm not just talking about building an email list. I'm talking about building a follower list, a list of subscribers to you, the brand, not just for an email. So you may reach Mike Smith with email every time, but Susie Jones never opens an email. But if you have a textiler set up and she's given permission for textiling, which you do in your lead capture rules, in your settings, then she's getting text from you. And then you've got, Bobby Jackson, just using the simplest names I can come up with, that will only follow you through chatbot on Facebook, right? And then you've got YouTube subscribers. And then, so what you want to be doing is creating a list that brings all of these in together, regardless of how you're going to communicate with them, because once you segment them, you're going to be able to reach them in the best way that you can reach that person. So don't just think email. However, email is still super powerful when done right. Okay. Now, let me show you some examples of this. And I'm watching the chat to see if you guys have questions. I'm going to open a new tab here. And we're going to go over to my website, my real estate website. I'm watching the screen to see to watch when this transfers over. Okay. I see it coming in now. Okay, this may not pop up because I already registered, so I may have to just show you what it looks like in Optinmonster. Oh, there it goes. Yay! Okay, hang on. I know there's a delay. Let me let you guys watch this pop up. Watch for the pop up in the middle. So you guys should now see in the middle there, do you see that Las Vegas newsletter pop up? You guys caught up with me? So that pop up is blowing my mind on how many more real estate numbers and emails specifically that I'm getting right now every single day over IDX registration. Holy cow, I had no idea. So I've always loved to offer photos on a property listing and then pop up forced lead capture because that was working, right? But the conversion was really low. People are registering because they have to, not because they want to. And that's a much harder lead to cultivate than somebody who says, yes, I want your item of value. Please email me, which is what this is, over an IDX forced registration of, oh, hey, visitor, you have to subscribe to view any more information on this property. Does it work? Yes, especially at the photo gallery. I tested everything on lead registration, and I would get the most registrations on forced at photo gallery when they would view photos on a property. So I have no problem capturing, 20, 30 leads a day, whatever, through IDX registration. But this is more powerful, and it's converting open rates and click-through rates at an astronomical number, higher than any average I've looked up. And all it is a newsletter. Now, I would have thought people would shy away from a newsletter, and that's not happening. So this morning I got one. Somebody registered for this exact pop-up, and they were on my website page that was about snakes in Las Vegas. Snakes, not real estate. My blog was all about what snakes are in Las Vegas, and they registered for the newsletter. Now, the key is, what are we going to send them after, which I want to go into a little bit, okay? But let me talk about how these pop-ups work. So I see a question here. Hold on. Ariel wants to know, are all of your websites built with WordPress? Let me close this so I can see your questions. I'm pausing just because I want to make sure I'm answering this correctly. And yes, yes. They haven't always been. I've built on, as far as real estate goes, I built on Market Leader. I built on the agency websites. I built on Point to Agent. I built on several of those. And the reason I wound up adopting WordPress was for this exact reason, because I wanted to be able to add these kind of codes and pop-ups and banners on the top of the website in a way that I could control, that wasn't offensive. Like, for example, see how there's an X up here? So the visitor can close that out. They're not forced to do anything. I also can control when it pops up. So I never have mine pop up at the first landing. I want it to be like 15 seconds later because I don't want to offend anybody when they first land on my website or they're going to bounce off. That's going to hurt my search engine rankings. It's going to provide a poor user experience. So I play with these and test them. Some of them will slide out. Some of them will show up only at the top. Sometimes it'll be at the bottom. And then I watch the conversion rates. Everybody else still with me? Judy says she lost me. I just want to make sure that I'm still here for everybody else. Okay, it looks like it because Ariel's answering. Great, I have my domain and I'm going to start building soon. Okay, I have lots of training videos, you guys, in several places. I'm a teacher first, a salesperson never. I'm not a salesperson. I offer teaching, product, service, consulting as a byproduct of teaching because people need it more than anything else. And of course, yes, entrepreneurial wise, I've got businesses built around it. But I always will help you go to where you can get those resources based on whatever your budget is and whatever your needs are. So in Ballen Academy, where I've created courses, I have lots and lots of training on this if you can afford. I call it the Ballen method, which is my training course. Also, YouTube. Okay, let me type this in here for you. I think I can do it here. YouTube.com/Lori Ballen. Let's see if this works. To everybody. Okay, but the link's not live. Okay, so I've got to do it a different way. Anyway, go to youtube.com, type in Lori Ballen. I've got a few YouTube channels, but the primary one of where I do all my training is here. So I've got one video that is how to build your own real estate website using the Agent Press Pro WordPress theme. So I'm trying to meet you guys where you are and give you training. If you want to build your own website, here's some ideas. If, my brothers over at Ballen Brands build WordPress websites. So if you know you want one, you don't want to build it, call them. If you know you can put your hands on it or your admin can, then I want to help you with that too. And I've got some training on that too. WordPress is my favorite because, and not all WordPress, by the way, like if you're using WordPress on a platform where they lock up your features, so you can't add you can't add codes, you can't, whatever. There's a lot of companies that'll give you a WordPress site, but they don't help you. They lock up a lot of the settings. Well, that's not good either. So my suggestion is you own your own WordPress, you own your own domain, you own your own hosting, and you put in things like this. I have no idea as of yet where Keller Williams comes in, how this will play with their platform. I believe this is going to be more lead gen, and that's going to be more lead cultivation. But we'll see. So today I'm going to keep going as we go, and then I'll show you how I kind of am using all those other processes as we continue. All right. So let me show you next step. So guys, this is so simple. So here's Optinmonster. Now watch how simple this is. I learned this in like minutes. Okay. Now, yes, I'm naturally inclined to this kind of stuff. But look how simple this is. So what Optinmonster does is Optinmonster provides the pop-up forms, the slide-in forms, the floating bars, inline content forms. Now, Constant Contact also has a couple. They just don't have as many options. So for me, I thought, you know what? It's like a one-time payment for the year. I can't even remember. I want to test all this, so I went ahead and got it. And here's what I love. Optinmonster, when somebody goes through one of their forms, which let me show you an example here. Let me pop this one up. When somebody goes through one of these forms, when the email comes into me, I get their IP address. Now, what the IP address allows me to do is I can put the IP address in my analytics software. It sounds geeky, but it's just a simple process. And I can see where that lead came from. I can see the source. Was it Google? Was it paid Google? Was it Facebook? Was it Facebook ad? Was it a blog? Did they what page on my website did they register from? I can see their location, not their address, but where they're at, their mobile device, or were they using a desktop? I mean, there's so much I can see when I have their IP address. So I'm not getting the IP address from Constant Contact, but I am getting the IP address from Optinmonster. And then Optinmonster also gives me way more options on how to control my forms. So if we look at Constant Contact in itself, if I were to go set up one of these pop-ups, I can do that. So let's just say you go, I really want to see what Constant Contact does. We go in here, I go to create, and I say, I'm going to create a landing page. Okay, I love this landing page. Very simple. I can add an image on the top. I can control the forms. And if any of you guys have signed up for any of my lists recently, you recognize this, although it has all my branding on it. So for example, I did a list yesterday. Hey, everybody that wants all of my KW command training, here's a list to sign up for. So in this particular case, I'm giving them a link. And I'm sharing out on Facebook. So this is not popping up on my website, okay? So they do have a couple options to get these forms to pop up on the website, but they're very simple and you're not going to be able to control a lot on it, okay? Fine to use, but you're just going to have limitations on your choices, okay? So I've got a page here popping up where you can see what some of this looks like. And then you can measure your conversion rates. And when your contacts come in, that's so super cool. Your contacts show up in a list. So when you build your landing page, you say, all right, over here on Lori Ballen, on my website, my Las Vegas website, I want everybody who signs up for this Las Vegas newsletter to go into my mailing list called Ballen Vegas Newsletter. I think it's that one. I've got so many now I have to go back and it's not that one. It's one that has hundreds of people in it. But it's a simple setup when you build your landing page. You just click a button and say, when people register, put them in this list. Okay? Now, Optinmonster does the same thing. Once you click the button to integrate Optinmonster and Constant Contact, or Optinmonster and Mailchimp, or Optinmonster and Infusionsoft, whatever it is that you're using, then any of those leads that come in through Optinmonster will also drop into your list. Now, here's the beauty of this. Then you can go into campaigns and create automation. And it's way, way, way easier than Infusionsoft. However, it doesn't do anywhere near as much as Infusionsoft would do if you want to get super advanced. That's your choice. But it does what you need it to do in the sense that if you set up a campaign, you can say, if someone fills out this pop-up, then send them this series of emails. Even better than that, you can measure and segment based on their clicks. So I sent you guys all out a newsletter. Those of you guys that are on my mailing list last month. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Let's see. I think it looked like, let me see if I can pop it up here for a second. Okay, right here. Let's look at this one. Oh, you guys, these newsletters are so awesome and so easy to make. I am in love with Constant Contact's newsletter platform. In fact, my daughter, Sabrina, who's been my marketing director for the last few years and is now working at our main office as a marketing director for Debbie Zoyce, she emailed me yesterday and told me how much she's in love with my new emails and that I'm doing them through here. And I'm using templates so that they're stupid easy because I'm not super into graphics, so I need it to be really simple for me. New branding I just made, so that's going away up there as of this month. But anyway, guess what I can do? When somebody gets this email, not only now can I measure the open rates, the click-through rates, right? How many people got it? How many people opened it? How many people clicked on it? And I've got a real estate one and a coaching one. I can measure, see, watch this. If they click on this Ballen Academy right in the middle, let's just say that's my real estate newsletter and it says real estate market report. When they click it, they go to another list. So I can say if someone clicks on the real estate market report, then put them in the monthly real estate market report list. They've already subscribed. They've already subscribed to all my mailings. So I'm okay to email them with permission-based settings. Now, I don't want to put them in so many lists that they start getting a barrage of emails from me that aren't relative. But what I do want to know is what's interesting them. So I've got, take a look at this. I've got a call to action for my real estate course. Some of you guys saw this last month. I've got a little script here about my trip to my summer with my teenager, how great my summer was, because you want to personalize things. You don't want everything to be generic. So I'm letting them know I'm a real person, but I'm not going on and on and on about myself. I'm just putting a quick little relatable bit in there. And you do the same thing with real estate. You should always have a little on a personal note, because people do business with people they know or think they know. They have to feel like they like you, that they care about you, that you're trustworthy, or you're a mom, or you're a dad, or you're friendly, or you're you're a goal getter. Whatever it is, they will find relatability, and that's how you're going to generate business. Okay. This can also be done through text. I'm not going to get into all of those processes today. Again, Ballen Brands can set that up for you, and I can bring more training on specifics. If you guys say, hey, Lori, I love what you talked about with XYZ. Can we do a training just on that? I'm all for it, or I'll make you videos, whatever. So I've got that. And then in this next one, I've got upcoming events. So I had my call to action for the webinar that month. And if the person clicks this is a constant contact feature. If the person clicks this, they'll go to either you can add a tag, or they'll go to my new list that says monthly webinar. So now I know that person is interested in monthly webinars. It doesn't mean I'm going to email blast them all the time, but at least it's segmented that I can choose to send a very specific message to that person. Guys, if you get one thing out of today, one thing, hear what I just said. You have to reach your audience with a specific product and message. Sorry, mouth's so dry. That reaches that person. A generic message that's a jack of all trades is not going to reach everybody. It has to be specific. So if I know my real estate clients are clicking on the hyper local blog portion, so in the middle I've got, here's what's happening this week in Summerlin, or here's where to go see Santa next month. And I can see that the most popular thing on this newsletter is the hyper local. One, I can increase the hyper local information offers so that I get more click through, more engagement. Two, I know I can segment the list and then start another drip email that's specific only to, or drip text, or drip bot, or more YouTube videos on hyper local. So we're learning by segmenting. We're learning, and then we're able to reach that person. Somebody on this webinar just asked me about WordPress. Lori, you build all your stuff on WordPress. Well, half of you guys don't care about that stuff. You're here to learn about email. You're not even thinking about that. But if I know specifically, was it Aaron? Ariel, if I know specifically that Ariel's interested in WordPress, well, now I don't have to nail Ariel with all of my other stuff that's generic, but maybe I reach Ariel with my WordPress trainings. Is this making sense? Sharon asked, do you like this product better than Leadpages? Yes, 100%. 100%. I like Optinmonster better than Leadpages. Now, Leadpages had some, when I was using Leadpages, it was great. Remember, we teach what we have at the time, and there's almost always something better coming out than whatever we're using, and we may not know about it. So Leadpages had some really cool features, the ability to plug it into WordPress and have those landing pages be actual URLs on your website, but then you had a slowdown on your website, so it had goods and bads. Love some of the templates on Leadpages that were already all created for you, and you could just plug in the pictures. But I find, and I haven't used Leadpages now. My admin was using that for the last year or two. I haven't used it in a while, so I don't know what they've got today versus 2 years ago. And it was a great platform when I was using it. But I personally like this combination. Like Optinmonster and Infusionsoft, Optinmonster and Salesforce, Optinmonster and Mailchimp, Optinmonster and Constant Contact. I like those integrations because I like what I can do with the forms on Optinmonster the best. See, watch this. So look at all of these templates. So you can do a pop-up, you can do a full screen where it literally takes up the entire space. So watch, let's look at something. Like you've seen this before, haven't you? These little shopping wheels that pop up when you're going to buy your shoes or looking at that product or that shirt or that skin cream, and this little thing pops up and says spin the wheel and you get a discount. That's a Optinmonster feature. And there's other software that do these kinds of things too, but this is one of the Optinmonster features. So the ability to change the offer to fit is incredible. And you want to know my absolute favorite thing without getting too overly geeky? You can change the offer per page. Oh my gosh, did you just sing to my segmenting audience's passion? My passion for segmenting audiences and reaching audiences in the right place is huge, because that's marketing. That's just marketing at its best, when you can reach somebody with the interest that matters to them. And Optinmonsters allows me to say, okay, on my website about snakes that has nothing to do with real estate, but there's a reason I do all that. You can learn that in my other trainings. Being the hyperlocal expert helps me rank on search engines primarily. It helps generate interest, it helps generate specialty, and it helps generate brand awareness. So it's very important to me to do hyperlocal. So what snakes are in Las Vegas? I could have a pop-up on that page instead of just sign up for the newsletter, which is only going to have like a 2% capture rate, which is fine. I could say, download the list of the most poisonous snakes in Vegas, or download this list of steps to take if you see a snake, or whatever I want to do, but it's going to be specific to somebody who's looking up information about snakes. How long would it take you to do that? I could hire a writer, and I teach that too, by the way, how to hire writers, but I could hire a writer for $20 and say, write me an article that's the 9 things you should know if you encounter a snake. There it is. That's what I was looking for. 9 things you encounter if you see a snake. Well, then I can go into Optinmonster. Whoops. And I can say, all right, I'm going to use whatever. I'm going to use a floating bar. I'm going to have this floating bar pop up top, and it's going to look like this. Whoops. There it is. Do you see that popping up at the bottom? I'm not sure if you guys can see that on the screen. It's popping up at the bottom. Or I say, I want a slide-in box. Let's do that one. And when somebody's on my snakes page, I want this one to pop up. See that on the right-hand corner? I love this kind of box too. And I'm testing them all. You can A/B test. You can say, 50% are going to get an inline, a slide-in, and the other half are going to get you're going to measure these two based on number of visits or whatever. And you can measure which one converts best, and you can use that in the future. So far, that big pop-in one is actually winning, but I like the looks of this one better. My instincts say use this one because it's less intrusive, but the larger one's converting better. And Optinmonster tells me that, so I love that. I can go into my campaigns and say, okay, I'm going to use that. Let's just go ahead and pick the slide in. And let me choose this one, use template. Okay, what do you want to call it? I'm going to call this a test. Now look at this. Which website do you want to load this campaign on? I can load it on all my websites. I can load it just on my keto website or my real estate website or my affiliate marketing website. So I'll say, let's put this on loriballen.com. I'm just playing. Then we go to start building. This is how easy it is. I really want you to see just the simplicity once you learn the steps of doing some of these kinds of things that you may not realize. Or you're going to see, oh my gosh, that's too hard. I want somebody else to build it for me, and that's fine too. Just don't shy away from it. That's the biggest deal. All right, so then we go to opt-in settings, and we can play with colors. Then we go to display rules, and here's the magic. If this, then that. So if this person is on my website for a certain amount of time, or clicked or exited, so you can have an exit pop up, or they scrolled down to a certain part of my screen, or they visited on this date. Okay, but here's the snake thing. Watch this. If current URL path is any page or is the home page or contains. Now I go over here and I find my website that's about snakes and I type in that URL. I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. I'm just pretending. Now you click next step. Guess what happens? You set up your integration to say when somebody registers, drop them into constant contact. By the way, Optinmonster also has all your leads showing up on a page, so you can manage your leads from there. But if you want to set up campaigns, you'll want to have an email program or a text program or chatbots or whatever you're going to use. You can say, if current path equals snakes, then drop them into my constant contact. Then what you can say is, send them this PDF or redirect them to this page that has the answers. Or you can say in constant contact, set up an automation campaign, send anybody who registers for snakes this email. There's a million ways to do this is my point, okay? I don't want you to get caught up too much in the how-to. That being said, if there was a high demand, hey, Lori, we want to learn how to do this step-by-step, I'll do a webinar for you. But I want you to kind of learn the concepts. Judy asked, does Optinmonster integrate with Wise Agent and Constant Contact? Well, it integrates with Constant Contact, yes. Don't know about Wise Agent. So, you know what? Let me see really quick. Optinmonster integrations. Let me see if there's a list. There is. Okay, here we go. Mailchimp, Aweber, Infusionsoft, ActiveCampaign, HubSpot, ConvertKit, Salesforce, Constant Contact, Campaign Monitor, FeedBurner, Webhooks, blah, 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 blah. What are you asking? I do not see Wise Agent, but that doesn't mean it won't work. Couple answers there. One, you might be able to use Zapier. Zapier has a ton of integrations where it kind of serves as a bridge gap, bridge gap between the two. And Jeff and them at Ballen Brands use Zapier, know how to do the integration. So you might have to ask Wise Agent, or you might have to go to Zapier and look. Okay, but here's all the defaults. But see here, suggest an integration. You can also reach out to them and check that out. Okay, I'm trying to see if there's any other questions in there. Now, I need to show you a couple more things that I think are really important. One, Constant Contact newsletters. Watch this. Campaign. This is how easy this is. I'm doing my real estate one right now this morning, and I'm singing. I just love it so much. Create. Email. Now look at the default landing pages that you can use. Real estate happens to be right there for you, and all you have to do is change out your information and links. So you can send something like just listed. You can send these postcard styles. You can send a full newsletter. Look at these gorgeous newsletters. This is all I'm doing. I'm no genius with graphics or newsletters, but I can sure plug and play if a template's provided for me. Just so you know, this is the one I use. Look at this basic announcement newsletter. I'm going to open it. And don't go yet, because I have to show you the Facebook hack that is my favorite thing on the planet. I should have started with that, but watch this. See how easy this is? Here's an image. You want to put your image in, you click edit, you browse, you upload your own logo. It has drag and drop. You can move them around. You can drag to reshape. It is easy, easy, easy. Not geeky like some of the platforms I've used are. Change this to add your title. Here's Lori Ballen's newsletter, okay? Change this to add your most recent blog or call to action. Change the text, change the link. So easy and valuable. Valuable, valuable, valuable. Now, Don't fill this with a bunch of junk that doesn't meet your client. Don't send a generic real estate newsletter out to everybody. So let me give you an example. I've got people registering for that newsletter that are looking for where to see Santa. They're looking at snakes. Some people want the real estate market report. So here's what I kind of do. I'll have the same thing I just showed you on the Lori Ballen. I've got one made, but I don't want to go find it right now. So I'll put my logo up here and I'll say Las Vegas, September 2019. Las Vegas newsletter, September 2019. Okay? Or August, whatever we're in right now, or what you're building for. Up here, I might say something like hot news. I want to grab their attention. And I'll put something up here that is big in Las Vegas. Did you hear about the new water park that just opened? Or look what's happening at Sky Canyon for 4th of July, you know, that kind of thing. Something that's going to capture their attention. I'll give you an example, coyotes in Las Vegas, especially up in my neck of the woods. Everybody's talking about it. Somebody just posted that they saw a 6-pack of coyotes down the street. Everybody pull your animals in. Crazy in Vegas. But so if it's a popular topic, if it's a trending topic, it might be important. How about our professional sports? Now we've got new hockey team, baseball, football. So if that's super popular to anybody in Las Vegas, that might be my top one. But then down here, I might have hyperlocal in the middle. I might have a real estate market report here. I might have a new featured listing here. And then if I want to add to this, watch how simple this is. You just take any one of these grids and you drag it in wherever you want it. Watch. Whoop, there it is. How easy is that? Change the image, product description. You want a double one, drag it in. You can make this as long as you want. And it's beautiful on mobile. Okay, now again, I'm not telling you how to use constant contact. I'm just showing you how easy it is and how I'm able to get away with some cool looking graphics when I suck at graphics. All right, not my thing. That's Sabrina's thing. Now, let me show you the Facebook hack I promised before I let you guys go. And please do let me know if you need any of the links I talked about today. Let me know if you have specific training questions. I will make you a training video on whatever you want and send it to you. I'll put it on YouTube, so it's fine. But just let me know what it is. If you said, hey, Lori, I already have a how to make a newsletter too, I think on YouTube. But if there's anything specific that I talked about or mentioned that you want more time on, please let me know, okay? Now, let me show you my favorite way to build a mailing list outside of the website pop-ups, social media. Okay, so some of you guys may pop up in my example here, and I don't mean to share emails if they're coming across my screen, but when I'm driving live, those kind of things happen. So I started a new Facebook group, okay? Now, whatever niche you're in, real estate, lending, coaching, weight loss, whatever it is, you can use the same principles, okay? So the first thing I do is I start a Facebook group, or maybe you're going to do a LinkedIn group, or you're going to do some, whatever. But I'm going to use Facebook as an example. This is my favorite thing about Facebook groups, okay? I started a new Facebook group called At Your Command. So At Your Command with Lori Ballen, I personally am going to be going to market centers and Skyping in, doing one-on-one training, everything with command, representing my own business. And as a Keller Williams agent. My brothers over at Ballen Brands are going to be providing service, so they're going to help you build out your command if you're a Keller Williams agent. Okay, so I started this At Your Command. So I started a Facebook group yesterday morning and put it on Facebook and said, hey, everybody, I've got this new Facebook group, At Your Command. Come join the new Facebook group, okay? Now, not too long ago, Facebook added the ability to ask questions on Facebook. So now watch this. Here's what happens. When somebody goes in and asks to be a member of my At Your Command Facebook group, used to be the request would be there and I would just have to approve it. Oh, good, Coley. I'm going to use you as an example then. I see your request. So if you have it, answer those questions for me so I can show people how they pop in, because you're going to show up on top probably. Anyway, you go to At Your Command, you click the button. So this would work like, let's just say you have I have a Las Vegas real estate group. Or how about Summerlin? I've done all this and I've taught this, how to build local groups, but how about my neighborhood, Summerlin? So I've got Summerlin locals real estate group, right? Or though we live in Summerlin. I think mine's called We Live in Summerlin. And I have questions, and my questions could be, when that person clicks the button, do you live at what neighborhood do you live in Summerlin? And they have to answer. We have, gosh, I don't even remember now how many neighborhoods we have in Summerlin. Summerlin has 100,000 residents, 40,000 homes. It's massive. So they'd have to answer. I live in the Vistas, or I live in the or I might say, which village do you live in? I live in the Hills. I live in the Vistas. I live in Sun City. I live in whatever, right? And that's one thing. Now I can say, what's your name? What's your address? What's your phone number? Now, of course, the more of that you ask, the less likely they are to join your group. So you have to be careful. So on this one, a bunch of you guys are now checking it out in real life. I can see. It says, are you a Keller Williams agent? What's your role? And do you want to receive my emails? They can answer yes and they can answer no. And when they answer yes, they put their email in there. And now, manually, I go over to Constant Contact. Let me show you what it looks like real quick. And then I'm going to let you go in just a minute. So right here, I'm going to go over to Moderate Group. And I'm going to go over here to Member Requests. All right, there we go. Yay! So Coley's in Salem, Oregon, and would love your referrals. All right. Did I get that right? I think I got that right. That's what I'm seeing here. Okay. See, this is why your Facebook profile is so important, because I'm learning you too at every glance. Every time I see your name, every time I see your location, this is so important. All right. But that's a whole nother branding class, isn't it? All right. So he answered the questions and said, yes, I'm an agent at Keller Williams. I'd love your email guide. So here's what I do. I go over here to Constant Contact. You can have your admin do this. You can have a virtual assistant do it, or you can take the time every day just to do this simple activity. Because to me, this is lead gen, and it's a very important thing. You could do this every day for, depending on how many Facebook requests you get, or LinkedIn or Twitter or whatever you're doing. You do this manually. Here's how easy it is. Watch. So I think he's already in my database. Let's just take a look. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go to Constant Contact, search contacts, click the little magnifying glass. All right, already in there. Watch this. I'm going to click. He's already in 3 of my other lists, but now he's in my Facebook group. So I add at your command tag and KW Technology email training. Whoops. Now from here, I can actually add a tag and I can add a list without leaving. That's one of my favorite features about Constant Contact, is the ability to do it all on one screen. Okay. So now here's what happens. My email, when I send out an email now that only has command training, I can make sure it gets to Coley without, because he specifically requested that information. Okay. He's also on my general newsletter list. He's requested webinars. So now I can communicate with the way he wants to be communicated with, not with the way I think he should be communicated with. He's already telling me what it is that he wants, what he's interested in. And that will grow as you grow, you know. So for example, now I send Coley out an email newsletter on Friday. And in that newsletter, I have a command training. I have how to build your real estate business on YouTube. I have, you know, those kind of things. Well, whatever he clicks on, I can now say add a tag when he clicks on that item. And then I know he's likely to be interested in that item. So I might include a tool like Optinmonster at the bottom. So if Coley were to click on the Optinmonster, I know he's curious about Optinmonster. And now I can reach out if I want to, in some capacity. When Optinmonster has a big sale or I have a training on it, I might assume Coley might be interested in that and send it. Is that making sense? It's incredible, right? I mean, this is marketing. This is just marketing. It doesn't matter what platform you're using. You just have to figure out how your platform will do it if you want to use whatever you're already using. Okay, now, let's say they're not in there. So let's take a look here and see if I've got somebody else in there. All right, so we've got Diane. Diane says yes. Now, if they say no, I'm still going to let them into the group. I'm just not going to put them on my email drip. I'm still going to put them in the group because I still want to communicate with them. So if your person lives in your neighborhood and doesn't say yes to your emails, they can still come in your group. You just don't email them, right? You might have an option on there to ask for a phone number. Is it okay if we text you for our upcoming webinars? Yes. Or what is your phone number? Is it okay if we text you for XYZ? Yes or no? Okay, fine. That's not a bad thing. They just don't want to be texted. But maybe they're okay with email, or maybe they're okay with a chat bot, or maybe they're okay, right? There's other ways to do all of this. So Diane was not in here yet. So I'm going to add contacts. I'm going to type in a contact. And let's see, Diane is in Orchard Park, New York, and would love your referrals as a licensed real estate salesperson at Keller Williams Realty in Lancaster, New York. Thank you for being my example today. I just simply look how fast this is. Diane Hanny, and I always double check to make sure I did it right. Diane Hanny, 1 N, okay, good. I might put in her job title, put in her email, and she is going to go on my Lori Ballen Associates list, which is where my newsletter goes to, and she's also KW Technology, okay? I'm also going to add a tag that she is an agent. Now, real estate agent. I also have ALC, team leader. You know, I want to also identify their role. If you're an admin for a team, I would like to communicate with you differently than as I would the rainmaker. Because you're gonna understand certain things possibly the rainmaker wouldn't, or we're gonna talk as an administrative approach rather than with a rainmaker. We're talking about production and big picture and leverage and things like that. So I like to know what role you're in to communicate with you. Same principles apply to your real estate clients. What neighborhood are they in? Are they a first-time home buyer? Are they somebody that's struggling with a credit score? Are they a seller? Are they a future seller? All of these things you can tag and segment to better learn. Are they an investor? Well, you don't want to blast your investor with your newest real estate listing that isn't an investor's bargain, or they're going to unsubscribe. You want to communicate with them with the best investment advice and hot properties, and you have to segment by tags and lists, right? So now she's in here, and if I want to get complete, I can go look up her phone number. I can add different things. But listen to this. Here's one more plus. Now, let's say I've got Diane's email. Diane is now on my list, but now I want to get birthdays. Well, depending on your landing page, it will now scan for duplicates. Well, if you're using any of these tools, it'll scan for duplicates, and it will update Diane. So let's just say my next thing says, join my birthday club. I'd love to remember you on your birthday. And I've done all that before too. You guys have probably seen that. And I want to send you a card on your birthday. Well, on that landing page, I'm going to ask for your address, and I'm going to ask for your birthday. Well, guess what? You fill it out. It will not add a new contact. It will not override anything. It will add it to the contact record. Huge. So you don't have to get all the info from day one. You can build it. Ariel says you don't have admin as a checkbox on the Facebook group pop up unless that's other. I don't. Okay, I'm going to add that. Thank you. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change that to I'm going to change that to a text field. You can actually change it. You can have drop downs. You can have check boxes. You can have. Gosh, that sounds like a great webinar, doesn't it? On how to set all that up for your Facebook group. I think I should do that maybe next month. But I can change it. But the reason why sometimes it's good is because you might have an integration that says if somebody fills out these forms, then map that field on my contact record. But that's complex, so I will fix that anyway. I will work on that. So, all right. So, you guys reach out to Paul and Jeff at Ballen Brands if you want any help setting this stuff up. If you want more training from me, you can actually hire me one-on-one for a 30-minute training consultation if you want hands-on, or check out Ballen Academy. You can buy my course, or go to YouTube and subscribe and follow along. I mean, I've got a million ways so that I can help you wherever you are at in your business. So whatever you need, talk to us. And if everybody likes the idea of having that Facebook group next month, I'll go ahead and set that webinar up, so that we can learn more about Facebook groups specifically and how to take advantage of that. All right. So I don't see any other questions. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm going out now to take my nieces school shopping, and I'm super excited about that because they start school on Monday. So thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate all of you. Go out there and have a fantastic day. Playbacks will be sent out in 1 hour, and I will talk to you guys all later.